there we go. Sorry. The focus is to really build that connection that's not academic based. And so therefore it's imperative that these clubs are more active than ever. Each advisor is working to create a virtual club that will connect kids, that will build on their interests and hopefully give them a sense of belonging while not physically on campus. The purpose of that is for kids to have people they share their interest with and then connect through that interest and then serve others throughout that specific community. That's always the piece of clubs that I enjoy and I think is really beneficial, is that not only is it kids meeting together to really talk about what they're interested in and to share that, but then also like how can they serve others through that interest. The goal is to build community and connection in our virtual world and then also in our in-person world when we can and when it's safe. So the action plan behind that, my goal is essentially twofold. It's one, it's to build up trust and action within the club itself. So they have a good, strong group and a strong base that they can rely on. And then once that's going, my second goal is to build up inter-club communication and interaction. I have these dreams that that one day all of our clubs will be working together to create activities and events that combine different areas of interest and come together and really give that to the school. I think that's like a second layer that would be really good for a lot of people. Right now, one of the most beneficial pieces to an active club is social media. If anyone has gone through Scott Bakovich's training recently, like in the last few months, he focuses on this a lot and he has a ton of information on that. And so if you have the means, I fully endorse spending money on that training. I know Liberty High School, they just went through today. I think all of his schools did. It's a fantastic training. But he talks about a lot that social media, we need to use it to gain the trust of the group and then to build that community. And we do that through highlighting people. So it's not really, to make the most useful way, it's not really the place to advertise things or to ask for things. It's really the place to give as much as we can. And so giving kids recognition and approval and affirmation right now is huge. The other day I was just in a Zoom and I randomly told a kid I was really proud of them, and like their facial expression was, they were so grateful for it. And it really made me realize how much that they're not getting that they normally do. And so it's like, how can we provide that in a different way? So that costs nothing, but just some time and good thoughts. You want to create a management structure with your social media that's manageable. And so we've talked a lot about using different programs like Slack, or like even just creating a spreadsheet that has like when you're going to post, what you're going to post about, and then has the content of that. And then also you want to look at your board policies for your districts. For our district, our kids can run social media accounts. It's actually a pretty vague policy. It's just really up to you to train them and then set that expectation and trust in the people who are running that social media account. Also, the other option there is that you can always run your social media account and have the kids still create the content for you so that it's just you posting about it. So like obviously whatever hits your goals best and whatever makes you most comfortable, that's what you should do. So the organization, these aren't necessarily in order. They're kind of in order, I guess. But you want to meet with kids, obviously, to check in to see how they're doing with the school, with the world and life. I also really strongly suggest that you revisit your club's purpose. Knowing the why behind your club is crucial for hitting your goals and for always having the evidence to fall back on. In our district, I had to prove to the district that what each club was doing so that the club advisor could get their stipend, which I sent them a ton of paperwork as backup for that. And so if that's something that you need to do, we can talk about that in our breakout rooms or at a different time. But I also think that's just really good. So it's good on that level too, but it's also good to make sure that your clubs really understand the why behind their club. And then also just making a list of goals that your club wants to hit in the 2020-2021 school year. You can't say that fast. But keep that list short. Simple yet deep is what we're looking for, especially in a pandemic. Like our capacity is all much lower than normal. And so we really want to go with simple, just have a couple of deep ones that we're working on. And then I also highly suggest having a theme for the year. It often helps to have a theme or a tagline to go back to as your club meets and plans and helps others, because you can always go back to that, right? Like you can always be like, is this really hitting that theme, which is going to relate to your goals too. And so it's a nice way to keep each other in check. And then number 5 is to think differently. It's time to reinvent our programs. A lot of our programs have been in existence for a long time, and I'm not sure that all of them are, a lot of mine are up to, are meeting the needs of the current kid that we have in our schools. And so I think it's important to make sure that we're listening to our kids and that the kids are listening to each other, that they can create a strong purpose and a strong set of goals that really aligns to what they're doing now and who they are now, so that we can keep that moving forward. Thinking differently is hard. It's freeing and stressful all at once. It often involves failure and retrying to find success. But it's such a beautiful thing to give kids, and it's a good reminder for us too that that we can experience that failure and then continue to push through it. I think the older that we get, the less that we fail, and so I think it's good for us to have to experience that too. But it still sucks. And then number 6, try to plan one activity or event monthly to do. It can be big or little. Like it has, I don't think that it needs to be a crazy big thing. I think that would be really hard right now. So I always go back to that philosophy again of simple but deep. And then number 7, have consistent meeting times for business and planning meetings. And then really just love and support them through that consistency. I think that the kids are really struggling with organization and with a lack of structure. And if we can provide consistency in a non-academic way that's still school related, I think it'll be really beneficial to them. To build membership during this time, it's obviously you can't canvass the high school or your schools or like put up flyers, things like that. It has to be a little thought about a little bit differently. So developing a marketing campaign and a plan to help kids join the club, creating a space for kids to engage in their interest, getting the club members that you already have and having them reach out to their friends into different ways, like using their social media accounts, and that is really helpful. Even in like sending out and seeing that if you have teachers that are willing to like recommend people that they think would be interested in that club, or even to talk about it in their class, I think is a really beneficial thing. And I definitely use social media to your advantage. It's one of the pieces that we have that's most applicable right now and easiest to do. So obviously you can use email and things like that as well. Here's my second tier goal, and might be kind of lofty, I'm not sure, haven't decided yet, but the inter-club interaction. I think I haven't started this yet, but I will soon. I think it's really good to have leadership training once a month for the clubs and for the kids. I don't know about in your school. I know in my school, there's definitely a disconnect between ASB and the clubs. The clubs tend to think that ASB has a ton of money and they have a ton of resources that the clubs don't. And so what I realized is that it's just a misunderstanding. And so we all need to make sure that we're on the same page with that. And so giving them the power to create what they need to create. And then also that we can do fundraising in different ways if we need to, but there's a ton of power without money that clubs have. And they just need to understand that so they can give that. Also understanding that service clubs can give on social media while also asking for help to support their actions. So like I think of Key Club with this one, which is a community service organization. They obviously are asking for help to achieve their things, but they can also give in that same aspect on their social media. They can highlight someone who's really gone above and beyond what is asked, of them, and do that. They can highlight the different activities they do, the different events that they give into, or whatever. There's also ways to do that to build both sides. Let's see. If you build trust with the people in your clubs, then you're going to be able to do more as a club. Which is human nature, right? We know the more that people trust us, the more we can do. And so it's really a twofold process. You must build trust with the individuals in the club itself before you can then ask to give service to others for their club. And so you just want to work together to build that. And then if you get two clubs that are willing to work together and to plan something, just come together and create like a small thing to start out with, a small activity or event. And then I think that's key. And then also, one of the other things that we've really focused on is having monthly club advisor meetings with all the advisors, just to make sure we're on the same page and that we're helping each other the best we can. And then also having a monthly all club leader meeting for the same purpose, to make sure that we're helping each other, that we're aligned, and that we can guide each other. One of the lines I go back to pretty periodically throughout all of this is that all we have is each other. And so I think this is also a great lesson to give our kids and our advisors and us, that we have to rely on each other right now. And so if we can build that structural component in, it makes it easier to do that. For class advisors, it literally all the above applies to them. It's just you need to think of your whole graduating class as the club. And then find ways to engage with them based off of that larger group. That is my structural component of that. Obviously, you can go above and beyond. You probably need to revise for your schools, but I think that basic piece is there for you on how we can work on to engage our clubs to build that connection piece. There we go. One of the other components that we worked on, there's something in chat. Yes, Britt, we're gonna put it on our website afterwards. It'll be a PDF for you. What was I gonna do? I also have this. I'm just gonna hit it like briefly because I don't know if it's anything that you guys need. But if like as activities directors, I know a lot of times we have our clubs underneath us, and so if you need ASB club advisor responsibilities, like to get you started on that, or to help prove that your club advisors are working, as we clearly know they are. This is something that I also gave to our districts, but it is all of our responsibilities and what we are required to do as our club advisors. So I gave the top responsibilities, and then we listed them out a little more specifically. And then at the end, I also included an example. So each club went through, and then they built in their own responsibilities that are just more specific to their club. So if that's something of use to you, I can put that online as well. And then my third one, one of our kids at Monroe High School, she is an awesome human, and she also decided to Running Start this year, and so I think she has a lot more free time on her hands, and so she's been creating a lot of resources for us. But she created a list of service project ideas, and so this is a 6-page document of different service project ideas that clubs could take on and do, and most of them are virtual, and so which is awesome. So that will also be on the website as well, so you can look through that and see if there's anything that stands out to you guys. Let's see, going back to my notes. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Is there any questions that you'd like to ask whole group before we split up into our high school and middle school groups? What we're gonna do in the high school and middle school groups is really just go through idea shares of how we can support each other and building those connections and what that looks like at our schools.
Jamie, that list of service projects was amazing, made by that student, 6 pages long. Yeah. Is that the student that did the virtual club fair? Is that the same one?
Yeah, it is Susie. Yeah, okay. We had a kid who this summer was like, I want to do a virtual club fair. And I was like awesome. And so her and her friend took it on, and they created they contacted all the clubs and the club leaders, and they created a virtual club fair that we did the first week of school. She's very detailed, and so we tried to get her here, but it just didn't work out with our schedules. But yeah,
that's awesome. That's an incredible list. I'm sure we'll all utilize that. So looking forward to that. And as Jamie was answering, these 3 documents will be put on our WACA online webpage, so you can access them after our meeting.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to go into our breakout rooms. So just give us a second to get that going.
I can get everybody into breakout rooms.
Michelle.
And then go from there. So let's do that. And then if I don't have you in a room, we'll get you in a room. Okay, off you go. So who's not in a room? Aubrey, where am I sending you? High school or middle school? So Aubrey, Crystal, Lindsay, and Stephanie, I'm not sure where I'm sending you.
This is Lindsay.
High school.
Go ahead.
Stephanie's high school.
Lindsay is high school.
Thank you. Aubrey and Crystal.
I think it's there. Crystal's middle school.
Thank you. Is it coming up for you guys to be able to go to your breakout rooms?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Aubrey, I can now.
Excellent. What are the options? Is the middle school option?
There is a middle, yes, there's a middle school option. Is that where you want to go?
Yes, please.
Okay, thanks, Aubrey.
Thank you, ladies.
All right, Mrs. Schlegel, where am I sending you?
Sorry, my thing died just as you guys did that. I'm at middle school.
Okay, I'll send you. Thank you. Hey, Stacy. We have people in breakout rooms by high school and middle school right now. Where can I send you?
Oh, I need to go to the high school, and I'm so sorry that I was late, and I have no idea what this meeting is.
So this meeting, you know WACA Wednesday and what that is. Do you just not know the theme, or do you?
I don't know what that is either.
Oh, okay. So WACA is an organization for our state for all the activity coordinators. And this year, we're every other Wednesday, we have a virtual platform where people can come and talk about a topic or get ideas from a topic. And this week's topic is clubs and activities.
Sorry, I do have a face. I can turn my face on.
No.
Clubs and activities. Okay. Oh, I'm
Yes.
somewhere. Oh,
You're
maybe
doing
I'm
great,
not.
Stacey. Do what you got to do. It's 5 o'clock at night, man. So in the high school groups, they're just kind of idea sharing right now about the clubs and activities. Okay.
Okay. So I should go in there.
That's where I'm sending you.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here. Bye-bye. I don't need to. we'll start recording again.
You were all by yourself, huh?
Yeah, it's all right.
Jamie put me to work, so I couldn't visit with you today.
It's okay. I worked on some statistics. Everything's fine, everyone.
Michelle's in her PhD program and gets to take a stats class. So that's a good time. It's a really good time.
I like the language gets to. Yes, I do.
Always in the positive.
Always positive. Yeah, it's good.
As we wait for the middle school to come, we want to honor your time too. So thank you so much for being here and for taking the time. I know I rely on you guys, and so I hope that we can reciprocate that back. Do you guys have any questions about Veterans Day or need any help planning anything for Veterans Day?
Before you do that, before you leave, make sure you signed into the chat with your name and your school, because that helps with the notes.
Ah, yes, it does. Oh, middle school's coming back. I love it.
We made it.
What? Oh, hi, Susan.
Hey, we're back. We're excited. We had a great conversation. So
I love it.
I just asked everybody to throw their name and their school in the chat, because that helps when we're doing notes, because sometimes I try and add their names if they said something or asked a question. So that would be helpful.
When Susie and I were planning this, we talked briefly about Veterans Day coming up, and that we need to honor that. And so obviously it looks a lot different this year. And so we just wanted to give you time if you needed ideas or if you wanted to brainstorm with each other on ways to do Veterans Day. I know for us, like, we're using social media for that component, and then also providing like some videos to give to like make sure that we honor veterans, and then also like make sure that we understand the point of Veterans Day. So we're keeping it simple. I know Short Crest is essentially doing like virtual assembly for it, which obviously you can go that route too. I just chose not to. Anyone else have any ideas?
And Jamie, would you be willing to share your kind of planning document with your other things that you shared on our website?
Yeah, like the Veterans Day stuff or the club stuff?
The Veterans Day stuff also.
Yeah. When we get it, when we get it solidified, I will definitely send it to Michael to put on the website.
Okay, cool. Yes, I think that's a big need for many people.
Yeah, it is. And Jennifer, we are putting the videos online on WACA.
Mm-hmm. Also keep in mind that AWSL has resources, and I believe Veterans Day is one of their archived resources.
Yeah, and honestly, Googling Veterans Day, you're going to get a lot of stuff too.
Yep.
If you are in our area, JBLM sent out a video. It's 10 minutes long. It's a little dry, but
it's a resource
if you didn't get it.
Thanks, Jen. And I think I was hearing as our breakout room was closing that Carrie Bradley shared something. It must have been the area meeting 2 weeks ago that she had something. So if you want to reach out to Carrie, I bet she'd be happy to share her stuff too. All right, anything else about Veterans Day or clubs before we wrap it up?
We decided this year, we normally have a local deli that does brings in breakfast and coffee for the veterans at the school. And so since we can't do that this year, we've arranged for them to have coffee and cinnamon rolls available for the veterans. And we normally give them roses and cards. And since we can't do that, those items will be at the restaurant. And then we're just letting the newspaper and the VFW know that if you swing by, you can have a cup of coffee and a cinnamon roll on us. And then there'll be their rose and their card form. And then the kids we're doing a parade by the nursing home, and we have a retirement center, a nurse, and 2 nursing homes facilities. We're going to drive by and then drop off the flowers and cards as we go to the nursing staff to distribute.
That's awesome, Tina. I love that.
Yeah, that way kids can do something, and we're still honoring. We started the tradition of honoring those that are in the long-term care facilities, because I thought, oh my gosh, that's where a good chunk of them are. And we probably have about 20 individuals this year that will be doing a little parade and dropping something off for them. So make sure they get remembered.
I love that. Is there any other ideas you'd like to share?
This is when I'm really thankful I have an ROTC program in the building. They're very rare and they have their own set of needs. But when it comes to this time of year, I'm happy that they exist. I'm always happy they exist. It's but I think they're doing a video and a presentation and something along those lines. So I think that's where a lot of people
for you, or are they doing a video and putting it out there?
They're putting it out. And it's a collection of songs and memories and videos and pictures of family members and those pieces. So normally they put on an assembly for our school, which is always really solid, and we bring in speakers and stuff. They always do a really good job for us. So
that's awesome. I love that. I lost my thought. Oh, Michelle, I lost my thought.
It's okay. It's okay. It's 5:30 at night. It's okay that it's out there.
I got it. I remembered it. Remember too that the AWSL Fall Student Leadership Conference is this Friday and Saturday, which is also another way to build connection with kids. It's actually, I think it's wonderful that like so many kids can actually go to something that is usually pretty small in nature. And so it's $250 for that, and you can register up to the day before. So it's definitely something to take advantage of for sure. Link. Britt, are you asking when AWSL sends the link?
I got my link today, Britt.
Yeah, they sent it in an email today. Do you want me to forward it to you? Okay, I'll do that after we
look at Britt's face. Clearly it did not get to Britt today. That look, that face was like, what?
Make sure it's not
I think
your
you
junk.
should send a very strongly worded email.
Really?
Oh, maybe it might be in her junk. She's looking.
Yeah, look at your junk email.
I still really, really liked the face. That's all that really was just like, I'm not included? What?
I love it. Michelle, is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
No, I think this was awesome. Thank you to Jamie and Susie. And I don't know if you guys talked about how to put on a virtual club fair, but
they would like documents if you have them, so we can add them if you have any outlines. That was one of the things they asked for.
For the virtual club fair?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send that. Yeah, I would encourage it if it can be done. Otherwise, I think this was great. Our next one's in the third weekend in November, I think it is. I'd have to check. So I don't have anything.
Awesome. Susie, is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
That's it. Thanks so much for coming. It was a great conversation and really appreciate your time and effort and trying to help make those connections. So
the next one's November 18th.
Oh yeah, because we have Veterans Day.
So we skipped it. You literally need to take Veterans Day off of school and just be for yourself that day and the veterans, but you need to take that time.
Yes, so no WACA Wednesday on Veterans Day, but we'll meet again in 3 weeks. So thanks for coming. Thanks for your time. Great to see you. And we'll stay around for questions or further conversation if you need that. But if you're ready to go and it's time for dinner, head on out and have a great evening.
Tammy, did you say that you could send me the link?
I could send you it, or Jamie can send either one of us.
Okay. And it's okay. It's not like separate for each school.
No. It's actually all pretty open.
We did pay for it. I'm not.
Oh no, I saw your name. You're good, Britt. Don't worry. There, I just sent it to you.
Thank you. All right. See you guys.
Okay. Note to self, when you save a chat, I renamed the other chat and this one's saved over the top of it, even though I had renamed it.
Oh.
That's not
just
fun.
FYI.
We're learning new things every day.
We are.
I should have moved it out of that folder.
I'll save mine because mine's still open, Tammy, so it has all of it.
Well, too. I just saved this one, but I didn't say, I saved the high school chat.
Yeah, no, my high school chat is still in my larger chat as well.
Okay.
I have both.
So maybe it's all one chat.
It could be.
Susie, did you guys have extra things in your chat?
We really didn't put much in the chat. I was taking notes on a different document. So I think we put like Joe Fenbert's email in there, and there's a little bit that people put in there, but it really wasn't much.
All right. Well, send me what you end up with, Jamie, and I'll compare.
I will do that.
Because I renamed it knowing that I was going to do it again, thinking maybe. Dang.
Oh,
All right, I learned something new today.
Scott, Scott, you weren't here at the beginning of the meeting, but you got a serious shout out and thumbs up and snaps and all kinds of great stuff. So you must be doing incredible work.
Yeah, I heard there was a lot of trash talking. I heard that my business is effectively over, and I want to thank you all.
Single-handedly taking down in one WACA Wednesday. You're
Really,
welcome.
The power of these weekly meetings is astounding. No, I hope I didn't. I wanted to, obviously I was hanging out with Michelle and her kiddos earlier. So, and then she was mentioning there was one tonight. And so when I got back, I grabbed a bite to eat. I'm not going to lie. One of the kids in the training today was eating ramen. And so I went.
So that's what you had.
Remember this, Michelle? So I went and got ramen.
Your Red Bulls.
He's like, you're giving me life right now. You're giving me life. Like,
He was
I
just
was
eating
gonna
with
ask.
full bowl so close to the
She was
camera. And I was like, okay, I really want ramen. So I went and got
Ramen
ramen.
and Red Bull today, huh? So maybe a carrot or two later.
He's living his best life. He's living his best life.
I'm trying to keep him alive a little longer.
Look at him. He's so much healthier, not traveling all the time.
This is so much better than where I've been. Like, I know the bar's very low. I know the bar's very low on that, but like better, baby steps.
Baby
Okay, I'll give you a few baby steps.
Thank
Have you conquered your skunks yet?
No.
Do you have a bird feeder in your backyard?
We're trying to keep them out of the backyard right now.
No, but do you have a bird feeder?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So they don't, I did a bunch of research because our cabin in Canada has skunks. And Hissy had an absolute fit last year. And oh man, that is not pretty. But they don't like citrus. So when you
see, I've heard that because I've done around the two edges of this where they're getting in, I've put, I know they don't like pepper either. So I found where like one of the burrow holes. And so I got like stuff all over that. So it hasn't gotten back in there because I would be able to tell. The other side I haven't closed up yet. And I'm spending way too much time trying to figure out how to close. Like, I need hobbies, like that one side. Like I could go do it in the next 20 minutes at Lowe's, but like I need things to do. So I'm trying to find very creative ways. And I've been giving, like, my dog's been playing with his skunk toy, which I'm realizing now the problem was likely my creation, but overall.
When he says skunk toy, that's a real skunk, y'all.
It could be. It very well could. It very well could.
Then vinegar and tomato juice are going to be your friend. So my plan next year when I go back, when I get to go to Canada, because I couldn't go this year, I bought everything I could find in the citrus world. And I'm going to spray using vinegar to neutralize the scent. And then I'm going to spray with all of the oils that are citrus oils.
You can do the, there's the hydrogen peroxide mix is good too for that.
Okay.
We did that one. I'll send you that one. That one's really good.
Okay,
That's what
send that to me.
dog like 12 times. That one's, it stings the skin. It's good.
Well,
it's good.
I just need to put it on the logs of the cabin.
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you. That one will be really good for that.
With my little sprayer. So
2020's been cruel to us all in very unique ways.
oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
I'm gonna pause. Should we stop the recording?
Yeah, I just realized as I was looking up at the corner